The nation of India just dropped a major Nobel Prize bomb on Donald Trump, and this time it could be the final insult. Fair warning, this one gets personal. Welcome to Occupy Democrats, I'm David Reddish. And yes, in case you missed it, I'm still recovering from jaw surgery and swollen like a Macy's Day Parade balloon. I apologize. Moving on to our breaking story. Donald Trump really wants a Nobel Peace Prize. So much so, he can't seem to stop talking about how much he deserves one. Neither, for that matter, can his bootlicking cabinet.
Incredible. And there's only one thing I wish for, that Nobel Committee finally gets its act together and realizes that you are the single finest candidate since the this Nobel Award was ever talked about.
That was, in case you don't recognize him, Steve Witkoff, Special Envoy to the Middle East. And watching that bit of behind-licking makes my teeth hurt. Worse than they already do. Look, Trump and his supporters love to say he deserves a Nobel Peace Prize. First, because Barack Obama has two, so naturally Trump must deserve one. And two, because he's stopped so many wars. Like the wars in Gaza and Ukraine that continue to rage on despite his assurances that he would end them his first day in office. But wait, you say, Pakistan nominated him for a Nobel Prize for preventing a war between India and Pakistan. Yeah. Funny that.
Before today's news from Iran, Pakistan revealed its plan to nominate President Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize. The announcement was revealed on social media, with Pakistan crediting Donald Trump for playing an instrumental role in negotiating last month's ceasefire with India. But in India, the Modi government is pouring cold water on the idea, saying Mr. Trump had nothing to do with it and that he was deliberately left out of negotiations.
Yes, Pakistan actually withdrew its nomination for Trump following his illegal bombing of Iran. So much for his peaceful strength, right? But that's only part of the story. Stay with me here. Following Pakistan's nomination, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi issued a harsh rebuke, claiming that Trump had nothing to do with diffusing tensions between the two countries. To add insult to injury, he's currently meeting with two other world leaders as we speak.
President Xi Jinping of China is holding historic talks with India's Prime Minister Modi and Russia's President Vladimir Putin at the SCO summit in Tianjin, China. The Chinese president is welcoming 20 foreign leaders from neighboring countries like India, Russia, Iran and Pakistan to strengthen ties between nations that comprise 43% of the world's population and 23% of global GDP. The talks come as the world grapples with how to manage Trump's tariffs. India and China have had a tense relationship in the past, but President Xi opened the door to partnership moving forward during his address at the summit, saying it's time for the dragon and the elephant to come together.
Now, before you say this is just diplomacy and it doesn't mean anything, there's more to this story. India has a long, fraught relationship with China. In 1962, for example, the two countries went to war over a border dispute. And now they're getting together under the watchful eye of Vladimir Putin and hugging it out? If that seems bizarre, it is. As it turns out, Prime Minister Modi's attempts to deal with Trump have had some major ramifications in India. Coupled with Trump's new tariffs on India, it turns out he may have just cost the United States one of its biggest allies. The New York Times, in an in-depth report, now surmises that Trump has pushed Modi to the brink, both in terms of his patience and in terms of political clout. The relationship first soured after Trump insisted Modi also nominate him for a Nobel Prize. Modi refused, since Trump had nothing to do with the Pakistan-India settlement to end hostilities. To make matters even worse, Trump slapped India with a 25% tariff on all goods last week. Though he cited India's buying oil from Russia as the reason, the Modi government apparently suspects that Modi's not nominating Trump for the Nobel Prize also played a role in the decision. Modi's association with Trump has also cost him a heavy political price, as the Indian public is increasingly turned against Trump. Basically, it all comes down to this. Trump has placed Modi in an impossible position. Modi can't nominate him for a Nobel Prize because it has long been the Indian position that conflicts between India and Pakistan must always be resolved without third-party interference. If Modi said Trump played a key role, it would weaken India's political clout internationally. Trump is also angry with India for not trying to leverage Russia over the war in Ukraine. India is also disgusted with Trump's targeting of immigrants, in particular those from India. So no wonder Modi is now meeting with Putin and Xi. It turns out he hates Trump more than his historic enemies. And given that India is one of the largest producers of American-consumed pharmaceuticals in the world, what could possibly go wrong? So no, Trump will not get a Nobel Peace Prize out of this. Americans, however, can look forward to higher costs, lower supply, and more international humiliation. Are you tired of winning yet? This is Occupy Democrats.